Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be talking to you about my case study. That is the tauranga, Port of Tauranga. That's the resource consent for entrance dredging. I'm going to be talking to you about the challenges that the Port Tauranga to face to meet the conditions of the consent. Also, I'll be talking to you about the correspondence between Tanua Whenua and the Port of Tauranga Collective, and also introducing the Tauranga Kaimoana, or the Kaimoana is Our Future program, in relation to conserving the marine biomes ecology during the whole dredging operation. And another key component is talking about mana whenua, or taonga, how the harbour and the sea around Tauranga is considered to be of sacred value to the Māori, or to the hapu, and that I'll be talking about kaitiakitanga in that reference. So what is kaitiakitanga? Kaitiakitanga is a pre-colonial Māori concept. It's about the mana whenua. So the Māori had a connection to the land, or have a connection to the land, as it being it is sacred, and of taonga, a treasure, something they could pass down to future generations. It was also in reference to the resources and the food sources that they can harvest from the taonga land, and also in regards to respecting and conserving the resources. So what would that mean for us engineers? Well, when we were going about, say, a development, an infrastructure or a construct that's upon land that is considered mana whenua, sacred, the kaitiakitanga principles will have to play a role in the construction and development on that land. So we'll be talking about that. So what would that mean for the project in Port of Tauranga? Well, Tauranga is a coastal settlement, and that means it will have a relationship with Mauna, the sea. Tauranga is also home to the Kaimoana restoration program for the Pipi bed. Now, that will be under a faculty from Waikato University, the Papatau, which is Earth Care, and they're responsible for the resources and personnel for the Kaimoana restoration program. So we'll now talk about the representatives for the Port of Tauranga development and the iwis involved, or hapu, sorry. So to the top there, we have a swart bloke. His name is Mark Karen. He is the CEO of Port of Tauranga. He is the guy who's trying to push the development of the Port of Tauranga. That's including the dredging operation. This is under a $170 million development for Port of Tauranga to make it more efficient for the Southeast Asia trade. Port of Tauranga is actually New Zealand's largest port. It has this revenue is of $800 million a year, and that's in the exports and imports of containers for New Zealand. Also, that we've got the bloke at the bottom. His name is Lance Waka. He's a representative for Ngāruahine Rangi. It's a hapu that's whose mana whenua is in Taranaki. Why is he working with the hapu in Tauranga? Well, Ngāruahine have a lot of interest in the Kaimoana restoration program in Taranaki. He has a lot of experience with conservation, and he's also a loudspeaker on behalf of the people that support the restoration. He he was invited to the hearing on behalf of for the hapu in Tauranga, so that's Ngā Ranganui, Ngā Te Rangi Iwi, and the Ngā Putiki hapu. So, yes. Nice. So now we're talking about the development, the dredging program. So on the right here, we've got the plan for the dredging operation, and on the left we have my interpretation of that. So on the yellow is my interpretation of the drawing. We have the channel for the Kata and Manganui Road and the Stella channel. The yellow is the yellow shaded area is they were trying to remove 180 cubic meters of sediment from the channel. You got to do it reasonably. On the Kata channel, there is the Tehine shelf. The Tehine shelf is kind of like an active biome for the shellfish and snails, and more importantly, it's also part of the pipi bed. And then you have the green shaded area. Now that's the entrance channel. That's for ships coming into the harbour. That's in close proximity to Mount Manganui. And also on Mount Manganui there's the Tikui rock, it's called the Sacred Rock, which is also part of the pipi bed program. And that will also be, they'll be removing 360 cubic meters of sediment. All in all, the whole operation will be removing 15 million cubic meters of sediment, but that's over a long period of time. They believe that in this operation it'll be of 10 years till the consent is expired. Then you have to reissue the consent from the Tauranga Council, and then they can go ahead with a further 15 years. That's the plan. When at this time, in 2011, they were allowed to. They were expect 4,000 TEUs to come into the harbour during low tide. Now, TEUs is a unit representing the containers, so 20-foot equivalent units, meaning there'll be a 6.1 metre containers. So in low tide they can have 4,000 to 5,000 TEUs, and on high tide they can have bigger container ships, and that would consist of 6,000 or 7,000 TEUs. However, that's not efficient enough for the tauranga. They want to have bigger, larger container ships, ships that at max capacity and 8,000 TEUs. That will drastically change how efficient the port can run, but it's also quite demanding on the port as well. So that's why Mark Curran is really pushing for the big development in Port of Tauranga. But there are challenges. Yeah, a lot of the hapu and the people who are involved with the restoration of the Kaimoana for the future program, they were up in arms about removing sediment from the pipi shelf, so the Tiana shelf, and that's involving the pipi bed. Also, it's quite close to a lot of landmarks considered quite sacred to the hapu, and of great importance to Mount Manganui village as well. So, in order to do that, they had to follow certain conditions of the consent. So the restoration of the Kaimoana restoration program had a lot to do with the dredging on the entrance channel. When they were removing sediment, they would also, prior to the dredging operation, they would try and clear the channel of marine life. And they also were responsible for relocating the marine life that they found there. Of course, there was also a lot of volcanic boulders in the channel. That was of great importance too, because it was actually a home or a habitat for the marine life there. So, they were granted consent in 2011, March, but of a cost of $2 million in legal fees. But Mark Karen didn't see that as a negative. He saw it as an awesome learning experience for the Port of Tauranga and for the collective itself, and they found that they were able to make a lot of middle ground with the Tanama Whenua and with the Tauranga Moana program. So it was okay. So one of the conditions for this consent is respecting and trying to separate the work, the dredging work near Tukui Rock, the sacred rock. Okay. You also will see that the TNA rock is a part of the TNA shaft. So that's the pippies and the snails. They were relocated from that channel. Another condition that they had to meet was that they were the Port of Tauranga would donate and sponsor the Kaimoana as our future program. And that was to create a scholarship called the Tikana Memorial Scholarship. That was not just to do with the ecology and conservation, it was also to do with any pupils that wanted to progress with a tertiary degree. But a lot of the Tikana Scholarship pupils, a lot of them got involved with the conservation of the marine environment. So that's the end of my slide, my presentation. My references are there, so I didn't need a lot of sites to visit. There was quite a lot of information, and so my personal conclusion to my case study. Well, I respect Mark Caron's involvement with the program. Concluding to the conditions of the consent that we could do with working with the Tanama Whenua and working with the Kaimoana restoration program. There's a lot of people that were involved, but he was able to work it out with all those bodies. Yeah, thank you. That's it.